Beautiful. And then again, if anyone's an attendee and they want to come in, just you can pop it in the chat or raise your hand or just speak up at any point. Okay, welcome, welcome. So this webinar, as I said, I've been running these for the last 6-7 months, and it's really to give you guys a taste of divine healing. It's to give you an understanding of where you might be stuck in your life as well. And it's all about coming together. And from my point of view, realizing we're not alone in what we're struggling with. And there are always layers under the surface. And divine healing is all about digging those layers out. And so I hope we're going to have a really fun time today. If at any point you need to jump off to the loo or look after children, or you run out of time, you need to run off somewhere, that's no problem at all. This is your time. This is your space. I always say, ask any questions at any point. I'm very chatty. I've got lots of threes on my soul contract. And if you guys know the soul contract work, threes love to gab, gab, gab. And I'm very passionate about divine healing. So I will try and do my best to give you guys a little bit of space to share and ask questions and make it as interactive as possible. So what we always do is we just start with a little introduction. So I'll introduce myself first for those of you who don't know me. And then I might ask you guys, if you're not feeling too shy, just to drop a little hello, where you're calling in from, and maybe what drew you here, and perhaps where you are feeling stuck in your life, because that is, after all, of today. And it's one of my most favorite themes. So it's all about fear. And fear is always operating under the surface. So I'm Antonia, I'm the training coordinator. I've been working for Nicholas at the Centre for Conscious Ascension for nearly 4 years. It's 4 years at the beginning of August. And so I manage all the trainings. I've taken, I think, all the trainings, including light body, divine healing, up to level 4. There are 5 levels. And so I have my own practice, and then I support Nicholas in the business as well. And I also do some co-teaching on the divine healing training because I love it so much. And I love to talk about themes like feeling stuck, fear, boundaries, coming out of hiding, all the stuff that I've struggled with and I still struggle with, because we're all just a work in progress. We're all learning how to be here, how to be more compassionate with ourselves, how to feel at peace with being on earth. I tend to work with a lot of people who are very sort of that high frequency energy of, what the hell am I doing here? How did I land on earth? Why am I here? Why am I going through this? It's my joy to help people just feel a little bit more landed in their bodies and a little bit more embodied and grounded in who they are. So that's me. So I'm going to be guiding you guys through this webinar today, and then we're going to do a lovely divine healing session at the end. And I want to make sure there's lots of time for it. I'll do my best to put it in at the end for a good 20, 25 to 30 minutes, okay? But before we do that, if you guys want to, are you very welcome to share where you're based, what drew you here, and maybe what is feeling sticky and claggy and tricky in your life with regards to the theme of today, which is about feeling stuck. If anyone would like to volunteer first and connect the group a little bit. And if you're feeling shy, that's okay. You don't have to at all. Melissa, yes.
Morning. How are you? Well, morning for me.
Morning, yes.
Yeah, I've always been kind of a fly on the wall with these divine healings, and I feel like now that I've been doing my practice with the soul contract and helping people kind of map their lives, I feel like the managements, the little tidbits, tips and tricks in the management for each of those numbers is beneficial, but I think there's more deeper layers. And I feel like I watched, I'm not calling anyone out, but I saw a video with Nicholas and someone, and it just made me really think deeper that this stuff is really, really more deeper than we think it is. And I do think we need that super conscious to really help kind of, chip away at this, because I think something that has not happened overnight is not going to go away overnight. And I feel like with my clients, that's exactly where they're at. So I try to share things about managing the frequencies, but I feel like they just need that deeper layers. And I'm a Reiki master myself, so I can work with energy. But the thing is when I'm working with my clients, I'm really channeling the universal energy for them. And if they're blocked, they're not going to accept it. And that's what really where I'm coming in with now. So the fly on the wall is kind of like now flying and more interested. So I'm glad. I'm really excited to see you lead this because I've done the ones with Nicholas, which he's always done a great job. But I'm really excited. I just feel really drawn to you. So this is great. I was so surprised. I didn't know. And I know I've done a little workshop with you directly with your own group. And God, I have to say, just that little bit of that, and then the work that I do has really catapulted me. And now that, but that's what I'm saying. We're all so different and we're all going to need different approaches. And so that's why I'm here.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing, Melissa. And yes, Nicholas has big old shoes for me to fill running these webinars. And I'm just gonna see if there's someone else. Is there anyone else who wants to join? Jody, you've got two that you're in. Oh no, I think we're fine. I just wanted to check there was no one else who was wanting to join. Yeah, Melissa, it's great to have you here and perfect timing with your email. You emailed me about divine healing, so hopefully this is going to be helpful for you. And yes, I've got a different style to Nicholas. Nicholas always calls himself he won't mind me saying this, the galactic reptilian. And I'm more of a softer, maybe a bit more a softer energy, but coming from a different understanding. And I love emotion, so welcome. Belinda, I saw you're from Cambridge. Welcome, welcome. Also in Cambridge. So I didn't know that. That's wonderful. I might have to talk to you about this. Um, And Hayley, you're in London. You've got the soul contract book, so you probably know your soul contract. Welcome. And then Jean. Hello, Jean.
I'm, Hi there. I'm Southern California,
Southern
but
California.
yes, I'm new to this. I've been doing a project on my soul journey, and it kind of led me to the book, and so I signed up on the website to get my little image, and I don't have a star. Mine is a triangle, and
A short name.
So yes, so I only have nine letters for my. So anyway, I want to learn about this. I'm excited to be here to learn about it and figure out what my numbers are, and then go from there. I'm thinking about doing the training maybe in September, just to kind of. Anyway, I'm new to this, so
Beautiful.
not to healing, but to this aspect of it.
Okay, well, you're very, very welcome. And I do find that the soul contract work, I always bring it in because it's so relevant. So maybe if we have time, we'll see, because there's always a lot to cover. We might have time to have a look at a couple of charts. That's what I normally do in my webinars, but sometimes we run out of time. There's so much to squeeze in. But you're very welcome, Jean. And Hayley, I saw you've got the book. Anything else you guys want to share, Belinda, Hayley? Yes.
Hi. Hi, welcome everybody. It's really lovely to be here. I've got the book, but I haven't actually read through, I haven't worked through it all. I've just kind of dipped in, dipped in and out of it. So I'm really curious to kind of just, go through the book and figure out what my soul contract is. And yeah, I'm just really drawn. I'm just very drawn to this work. It's just been there, in the background. I just keep getting the emails and just, yeah, so it just feels like the right time
Yeah.
to be here. Yeah.
Oh, well, perfect. Very, very welcome. And the book is sort of that dip in, dip out, and hopefully will give you a little bit more of a deep understanding today as well. I'm feeling there's a little bit of a soul contract vibe, so I'm going to go with the flow of today. And Belinda, did you want to share a little bit of?
I am an energy healer in the infancy of starting up my own practice.
Beautiful.
It's a big leap for me because I like to be behind the scenes and not front and center. But I'm going to have to start be more vocal. I know that. I've got so I know very little about the soul contracts, and I'm really drawn to it. There's I know I've got 6 dominants, and there's a double 7 somewhere that in challenge. So physical challenges, I think so. Talking is not talking in public is not that easy for me.
Yeah.
But I need to overcome that, and I'm working on it. I am drawn to the soul contracts. However, I also am interested in the energy healing side of things, and one of the things that brought me here was to see how that differs to the modalities I already use, to see whether it's something I would be interested in adding to what I already do. So, yeah.
Perfect. Well, welcome. I love that we're in the same city. This never happens.
It's so unusual.
I know.
Someone in the same country,
This
never
is
mind
very
the same
boring
city.
for everyone else, but where are you in Cambridge? This is a very small city in the UK.
Camborne. And you?
I'm in just off Mill Road.
Oh, wow, just
Yeah.
down the road.
Just down the road. Gosh, okay. You're gonna have to drop me a line after this
Maybe
on
we
my
can meet for
email.
coffee or something.
We're gonna have to have a coffee. I know. See, there's people call the term light worker. It's actually someone else coined this phrase. It's like a light bringer. So we're all little light bringers, and when we turn on our own lights, we automatically illuminate the spaces around us, and we always think we're on our own, and actually we're not on our own. We're actually nearer than we think we are, as evidenced by Belinda and I just being like a mile down the road from each other, which is wonderful. But this the Centre for Conscious Ascension, when we do our trainings, we tend to have a really lovely, diverse, multinational group of students, which is very, very joyful. But okay, thank you everyone for introducing themselves. And if anyone in the participant room who isn't in the main room wants to drop anything into the chat, you're very, very welcome to do that. Okay, so let's just get stuck into it, shall we? Also, I have a little feeling we might just dip into the soul contract. So if you guys do want me to look at your charts, on the call now, just drop your birth certificate name in the chat and I'll pull it up in my software, because I have a feeling this is going to be quite relevant. And a big thing about divine healing, and I'm just going to pull up my software as we're talking. A big thing about divine healing is it's about following the flow of spirit. So our human ego mind is always wanting to be in control. And let me just get these in. Well done, everyone. And we're here to learn that we're not in control, but we can be in command by knowing ourselves and responding to life rather than reacting. And a big part of that is following the divine flow. So let me pop these in. Give me a second. Da, 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 da. Okay, yes, Jean, you have a short name, a special name. It means your soul. So when you have a short name, you only have one triangle. And it basically means your soul is very determined to work through those very small set of energies. It's like a concentrated soul mission, as it were. Okay, we've got you, Hayley, and Belinda. Oh, Belinda, you have a long name like me. Okay, I have a long name. Normally when you have a long name, there's quite a lot of energy. It's rocking around in there. Okay, we've got them in. Did we get everyone's 1, 2, 3, 4? Yeah. Okay, I'll have a look at these in a minute. I'm quite excited to see. Yes, juicy energy. It's lovely. Okay, we've got everyone. So let's get into it. Let me pull up my screen. Can't believe I thought no one had turned up. I didn't let you guys in, honestly. I'm still giggling about that. I'm just moving my, okay, I'm going to leave you guys there. So we're going to talk about feeling stuck. And actually, it's interesting because we did talk about it a little bit in our intros. But I might ask you guys in a bit where you're feeling stuck. I think Belinda, coming out of hiding and getting yourself out there with your voice and the work that you do. Haley and Jean and Melissa, where are you guys feeling stuck in your life, can I ask? Is there any part that's feeling, oh, I just want to move forwards, or is it just, I just want to learn a bit more right now and there's nothing coming up in particular? And if so, that's fine. Haley.
Yeah, for me, coming out of hiding, it's been since COVID, really. I was teaching yoga and doing other various things. And yeah, I had a few relationship, breakups, and I just kind of went into hiding. So it's time for me to reemerge and start sharing again, so yeah.
Coming out the
Be
cocoon.
visible. Be visible. Yeah.
Always a very, very big struggle when we're doing this type of work. I think a lot of us have deep persecution, wounding, not just from this lifetime, but imprints from many lifetimes. And it's nonsensical. We have a beautiful gift to share, but it can feel very, very tricky to be seen. I feel you there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Jean.
I'm basically coming out too, as far as like not hiding. I have a lot to offer and I just want to get it going. And yeah, I guess that's the best way. That's why I want to learn a little bit more about this. And,
Yeah.
it's like a new direction for me, something new.
Beautiful. And then Melissa, is there anything in particular?
Oh, I'm too giving. That's my thing. I'm way too giving and I like it. And I'm just that way. I feel like I've been really blessed, unfortunately. I hate to say that. It's not bragging, but I definitely give a lot. And because of that, I feel like I don't have that scarcity. And so I don't know if anyone can relate to that. But I know my husband says, Melissa, you're just giving everything away. And it's not so much material. It's just intangible knowledge that he's like, you could really bottle that up and put that in a book and sell it, because he's a business owner. We have 3 businesses. And I think because of that, I feel very gifted. And I'm like that too, even at dinner. I'm like, I'll pay. I'm the one invited everybody here. So,
Okay, so a real giving nature, but also
yeah.
recognizing the value
Mhm.
of what you bring to that table. And it's
Yeah.
not even about, needing, oh, I've got to make a business out of it. It's actually just that reflection of your value.
Yeah. And Antonia, I actually had a client and she wanted to tip me even more money. And I was like, please don't. I mean, because I felt there was something there. I was like, I should have just said yes, because that is the reciprocal of receiving. But there was something part of me that said, no, thank you. This is the exchange.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So this is a really good point. And this is something I always share with people is we're just diving off into the deep end here. So in divine healing, we go diving. So this is the surface of your life, and you're sailing on your boat. It's an awful diagram, I'm sorry. You're sailing on the surface of the ocean, thinking that you're going in some direction, or you're wanting to go in a different direction. And actually, deep down, there are really, really big subconscious currents that are pushing and pulling you. And some you are aware of because they're very close to the surface. Like I know, for example, I can be a little bit self-sabotaging when it comes to promoting my own events and the things that I do, because I'm a little bit scared. I'm a little bit scared of people judging me, and I think we all are to some degree. I'm aware of that. It's very close to the surface. I can feel that. I can feel that current pushing me. What I'm not aware of is the deeper currents that are pushing and pulling my life that I'm not even conscious of because they live in my subconscious. And in divine healing, you and me. Say I'm the practitioner, or you're doing yourself, you know, you can do sessions on yourself, or you're working with a client. You are buddy diving together down into the layers that the client can't see or feel, that they're not really aware of. And we are divinely guided, because it's called divine healing. We are divinely guided as to what needs clearing in that moment for that client. And so the way we work in divine healing is we work with our higher self, or as you go through the levels, you have a healing team. And what this is basically is your intuition, and you connect into it. And we work with charts, and I'm going to show you what a chart looks like. I'm going to bounce around in a different direction today. I knew this was going to be a different webinar. I had a gut feeling. So we're going to break my normal rule book. I'm going to do something a little bit different. So for example, this is what it looks like. This is the contents of our level 1 training, which is my favorite level, can I just say, because it's the one I use all the time with myself and with my clients. And what we do in divine healing is we lean back and we use number mapping or muscle testing to tune into that number, and say the number is 10. And then you're going to work on the chart, which is called judgments and beliefs. And then within that chart, you're going to tune in again, and again, a number's going to drop in. And we teach you in the training how to do this. This is everyone's fear. I'm not going to get the number. I'm not going to get the number right. And I guarantee, having assisted and taught on must have been like 6 or 7 trainings now, everyone gets it. Everyone gets it within the first day. And you guys are all experienced anyway, so it doesn't, it's not even related for you guys. But in the judgments and belief chart, you then drop in and you number map again. And I'm going to take you to that chart so you can have a look and see what it looks like. Just going to get straight into the explanation of divine healing here. So this is what the judgments and beliefs chart looks like. And again, you're going to get guided as to tuning into a number. And say you get number 1, you're then going to choose the number 1 to 25. So you get 7. Everyone is out to rip me off. And so this is an energy that the client is going to be picking up under the surface. It's going to be one of those currents. And when you bring it up into their awareness, they're like, oh my God, that's so true. I wasn't even aware that I was feeling that. I wasn't even aware that that was on the surface. And all divine healing is bringing those currents up to the surface where they can feel them, where they're tangible, where they can then connect the emotions around it, connect to the feeling, the story, connect to how it feels for them, essentially, because what you feel, you can heal. And divine healing is all about coming into the feeling. And then we have a process, a guided process to help them really connect to it, help them feel it in the body, and then a clearing release. And we work with commands. They're very loving and very powerful, because words, spoken word, is energy. So let me just pop this to see what the chat said. Divine codes. I don't know what, to be honest, Belinda, I don't know what divine codes is, but it might be very similar. There's very, lots of these modalities are all about getting into that subconscious energy. The thing I love about divine healing is it's very accurate. It's very quick. So I'm not sure about the comparison, but you can probably get a feeling from looking at this. And divine healing is just, it's very, very quick. It's very, very accurate. It's very, very powerful. You'll pick things up for your clients and they'll be like, how did you know that? It's absolutely wild. So this is basically what divine healing is. And I was going to say something else, but it's just gone straight out of my head. So we'll come back. We'll drop back into the what I started with. We'll come back to this so you can get a little bit of a feel for it. But divine healing essentially is going diving with your clients to pick up on the hidden judgments, the hidden fears, the hidden emotions. That's one of my favorite charts. Things that are stressing them out, key psychological conflicts, sabotages. Now this one, when it comes to getting stuck, it's one of my favorites, because we sabotage for many different reasons, but that sabotage is that sticky energy, always wanting to move forwards but sabotaging yourself. And they're very, very deep and very strong. So this is essentially what divine healing is. And I'm going to get a little diagram. This is my favorite diagram. La la la, if I can find it. Here it is. So we call divine healing peeling the ego onion. So we're made up of layers and layers and layers and layers of beliefs and programming and conditioning and imprints from our families, our parents, the society we grew up in, our past lives, our soul contracts, ancestors. You know, we are layers thick. And so divine healing works on clearing things, as I said, we are not conscious of. And what I find really funny is I know that there's stuff that I need to clear. I call this 1%, what you know. This is 1%. I know I need to clear my fear of being seen, like all of us. Now, I know that there's also hidden stuff. I don't know what it is, but I know it's there. And that's another 1%. And then the rest of this is what I don't even know that I don't know. It's a bit of a tricky one, that. But it's almost like we aren't aware of the things that we aren't aware of. So again, if you've got 3s and 8s in your soul contract, these are what I call the numbing energies. And so sometimes with this energy, we don't want to feel. We don't want to feel what's below the surface. We don't want to dive too deep. We don't want to prod it too much. It's a bit too painful. And so 8s can live in their mental body, in their heads, and they can sort of be disconnected from their emotional body. And the problem with that is we create, we manifest from our body. Our body is our gift. Our body is our way of creation, co-creating with source. So we kind of need to work with it. But a lot of us numb out. It's not just these soul contract numbers. A lot of us numb out if we've had a lot of trauma, a lot of challenges, a lot of struggles. So that being said, we go back up a little bit. Da, 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 da. Yeah. This is what I always love to share with people. And I'm going to check in with you guys and see how that's landing. So source, God, universal consciousness. Ah, yes, Melissa. Sorry, I didn't see you.
No, you're good. When you brought up that those codes, it actually something came up to me. So I have a 10-1 in my physical karma, and my mother-in-law, which is a grandiosus, very high-level narcissist, and it's not labeled by me. She is a 10-1 as well, and it didn't really surface till like maybe 3-4 years in our relationship, where I started to see her as a taker.
Yeah.
And take everything, like doesn't give anything, like her hand is out for everything. Like she just takes. And it's funny because when you put that up, it came up to me that I'm the giver. So think of that clash right there where I'm seeing someone always taking, and it just burned me up, in my early years. Like this woman is just like, she'll take everything. And I found it so interesting. I worked through that clash, but I'm still in that sense of still giving, and isn't that interesting? Because that was that clash is showing me that balance of someone having to take. But I feel like I still kind of, I'm in that balance where I want to rescue. I don't have it's interesting because, life paths, if the 6s or the life path 33, they're the rescuers. But I'm also a maturity number of a humanitarian, which are helping the underdogs. So you think of how this all comes in, but I know it's something deeper too that I just want to give to everybody. It's almost like, and this is what I want to share with you too, Antonia. This is really kind of way far out there, but you'll get it. I had a past life thing on someone, and I linked it with my soul contract. That individual has the same 10-1 in the physical karma. So I linked it with this person that lives in the 1300s, and she was a spoiled child. Interesting. Where now I don't like that spoiled child, you know what I'm saying? I'm like the opposite of that. See how that's kind of all kind of come in together? It's interesting. So I wonder if this is a lot of past life stuff too that I've been trying to release.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? 10-1s are here to come into their integrity. And so seeing your grandmother, was it your grandmother or mother?
Oh, my mother-in-law.
Sorry, mother-in-law. Seeing your mother-in-law take would have maybe needled your 10 ones into being like, well, that's out of integrity. I'm here to be responsible. I'm here to be grounded. I'm here to be stable in my power. I was just going to look at your chart, Melissa. Oh yeah, all those lovely giving energies are with the 8s and the 4s. So 4s can really get distorted with their giving and receiving. I know so many people with 4s who are like, I must give. And then maybe if I give, I'll be able to receive, but not, as you said, material. It's actually 4s are here to feel worthy to receive God's love, the love of the divine, and flow in that abundance. So the link between abundance and self-love is completely mirrored. And then, 8s are feeling all the emotions of everyone around you and wanting to be the peacekeeper. 5s are here to learn how to assert themselves. And it doesn't matter if the numbers and the talent, it can still be inverted. It can still be a challenge. And then, that's a disempowerment. It's a disempowerment that can create that, I must keep the peace. I must keep safe. I must hide. Here to come out of hiding, here to galvanize and catalyze people, Melissa, with those spiritual talents.
Yeah, and as an energy worker, honestly, that is why I became a Reiki master, because I was working through a lot of this stuff. And when I came across my soul contract, that was the only thing that was literally showing me the roots that I had to work through, which I had. I mean, it's a work in progress, right?
Yeah.
And but that's why I'm so passionate about the soul contract training and became the level 3 practitioner, because I see it even in houses now, the energy that people can feel unworthy of their own home. And that house will have that energy of self-judgment within itself, that's carrying. But it's so interesting. Like I said, when you pulled up that thing with the divine healing, I'm like, oh yeah, that's exactly where it's lying.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And I tell you what, in divine healing, so when you go through the levels a little bit more, you'll realize that there may be one program, and say it's a fear or a self-judgment. And that fear or self-judgment will be hooked. And by hooked, I mean like hooked in, like attached to a different program, like might be a past life death. And that past life death will be then hooked into, say, hidden ego agenda, which is like a sneaky little ego behavior to keep you limited and small. And they kind of like hook in. So as you shared, Melissa, it's nothing works in isolation. So like with the soul contract, I always love to remind people, none of these numbers work in isolation. They all play together. There's a beautiful flow and a thread between them. And, I do find people who do healing work do often have those 8s and 11-2s, because you're here to read people emotionally and bring them into your aura and nourish them with your 11-2s. Which I find
Yeah. You know what kind of came to me right now is that I'm almost like, I don't know how, like I'm this, like, say I'm a violin player and this whole contract's almost like my sheet music. And it's for me to use in the, what just came to me. And it's almost like there's a bigger thing, like when you play, like I know how to play the violin, but it's like if I don't have my sheet music, which is the soul contract, how do I really create this expansion or play with the symphony of this universe? You know what I'm saying? It's like now that I know, but yeah, I might like get out a note here and there because, I'm never going to be that high level, right? First chair violinist.
Oh, I
So
don't
weird.
think anyone can be.
Right? It's almost like that analogy that came to me but it guides me so much each day. That's the thing, is that I'm like, oh, I can just pull up my contract and say, okay, that's where it is. And you explained it so beautiful how they all interact together.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. And our soul chose our set of experiences, which can be a really hard pill for some people to swallow. And I don't say that statement very lightly at all. In fact, I posted it on a reel the other day and I got quite a lot of people commenting, being like, what do you mean we chose? That's awful. I didn't choose this. I would never choose this. But on a higher level, we chose to experience, for example, disempowerment. We chose to experience a lack of love so we could come into the opposite, so we could come into empowerment, which is yours, Melissa, with your 9 soul destiny. Or, you know, if someone's got sevens in their soul destiny, you're here to actually reconnect with who you truly are and become fully embodied and absolutely heart opened with who you are and not hiding. So, you know, the soul did choose, and coming back to this diagram here, you know, the soul split itself down and lodged source split itself down into what we call this third dimensional reality. We came from the 12th dimension to the third in this state of separation. So we have separate bodies. We believe we are separate beings, although we're actually just one giant consciousness. But that's what that's what Source, God, the universe wanted to do. And really, divine healing, the purpose of this is to clear away all the layers and blocks that hide us and block us from the truth of who we are. So if you go back to that principle of the onion, at our core, we are perfect and whole and complete. This is who we are. And we know that as babies. We know that. It's why babies love attention, why they cry when they want, they smile when they want, they play when they want, they demand when they want, because they know their value. They can't communicate it, but they know it. And as we get older, the truth of where we've come from begins to disintegrate, and we forget. This is my belief, you know, babies come in and they know. It's why they're crying when they come in. They're like, no, why did I choose to come to earth again? But we build, you know, all our childhood experiences, build all these layers and layers to the point where we forget, and it blocks. It's like wearing tons of heavy coats, and we can't get to the truth. And divine healing is about taking those coats off, so we can break through what I call the glass ceiling of our ego mind. Now, our ego mind, we chose to come down to earth, and we chose to have our ego put in place to keep us limited in a limited state of consciousness. And we're not here to be limited. Sorry, very loud motorbike just went past. We're here to break through the belief systems. So instead of reacting to life, we respond. Instead of, you know, Melissa, you're a good example, automatically being in that behavior of giving, it's actually having awareness and having transmuted the energy, that unconscious energy of I need to give to prove my worth, I need to give to keep the peace, I need to give to stay safe and to keep my power. Instead, it's like this short circuit within us. Once we've done the clearing, it's like, oh, hold on a second. You catch yourself in that behavior and you don't do it. And
So can I just add one thing? So this just came up again. So say it gets cleared. So this is where I'm kind of like at a crosswalk, because it's like I'm giving, even though I have the intention, like say I have a paid client and they gave me my, you know, we do the exchange and they say they want to give a tip again. That's where I feel like that crosswalk was like, yeah, you know, that's really generous of you. Thank you. Is that really kind of how you just end it and walk away? You know, or do you say like that's the energy exchange? You know, I don't expect that, because then I feel like that something inside of me might have that desire to get it again, right? Like chase after that tip. And that's where I kind of curious that, you know, we're creatures of habit.
well, that's your unique programming, Melissa.
Okay.
I can't even answer that, because that's whatever uniquely is going on within you. Because that is, again, a belief system of, oh my gosh, well, what if I want more? A fear of being greedy, a fear of being in greed and avarice, which is the downside of the 10-1. That's something you work on in divine healing. See, this is what it is. It's naming it. It's naming it, being like, I'm scared of. Well, work on that fear. That's the fear that you work on. That's exactly it. And what I was going to share was, you know, talking about energy. So, you know, Jean, you said you work with energy. Haley, you'll know about energy because of yoga, and Belinda, you work with energy as well. And Haley and Melissa, you already know about it. So everyone knows about the energy field. So this is my experience. When we have a negative experience, normally from a lower consciousness state, we react. And we react from the loudest parts of us, which is our ego mind. This is how loud the ego is. And this is how loud the soul is. So the soul is the quiet voice being like, oh, hey, maybe that's not such a good idea, or maybe you don't need to be so upset, or maybe it's okay that this is happening, or maybe you're allowed to feel this. But the ego will rant and roar and stamp its foot because it has the bigger voice, it has the bigger power. It is made up of all those layers. And then, of course, when we react, that emits a different energy back out to the universe that then, lo and behold, creates that same negative experience. It's why we get stuck in loops. It's because we're living from our ego mind. But what happens is when we do the clearing in our subconscious, we bring in, and I hope you like my diagram, the flame of consciousness. This is actually Nicholas's terminology, but it's very, very on point. So we have a negative experience, and then we bring in that beautiful flame of consciousness, and that is that divine awareness. It's that ability to see and to understand and to release any judgment and shame on any program or fear or self-sabotage or hidden ego agenda that's been operating under the surface, and it breaks the cycle. And that emits a different vibration out into the universe that changes our reality. This is essentially all energy is. But and this is why I said it's so important about the feeling, is the ego mind will try and keep us in the mental body. And that's not our powerful place. Our powerful place is through the feeling of the body. Every cell contains all of our experiences, all of our emotions. And the more we bring our body into this, the more powerful it is. And the mind tricks us all the time, as I'm sure you guys have had experiences where the mind has been super tricksy and discouraging and unhelpful. So the reason and I'm going to look at Jean, Haley, and Belinda. I'll look at your charts as well in a minute as well. Don't you worry. They're cooling, and I'm going to get them up in a minute. Feeling stuck. Often, as I said, there are hidden emotional patterns operating under the surface that we're not really aware of. And what happens when we bring awareness, non-judgment, and compassion through healing to those hidden emotional patterns? Well, that's what we're going to find out. So I've already talked about divine healing, but essentially it's based on ask and you shall receive. So the spoken word, the energy, and because the soul contract system, which is based on the sound of your name creates your reality, and you know how accurate it is, then that is how this works as well. And the reason divine healing was created, it's a really interesting story. So Nicholas, who I work for and teaches the soul contract and divine healing at the Center for Conscious Ascension, used to be married to Almira. And Almira runs the sister company, the Center for Love and Enlightenment in France. And they had clashing karmic 9 energy in their soul contract. 9s are like dragons. It's disempowerment, coming into your power. It's messy, it's chaotic. I've got gold 9s. I can be very, I think we all can, but they needed a tool to work through some of the deeper, heavier stuff that was coming up through their marriage. Because when you're in partnership with people, all this stuff comes up. And so this was channeled through Almira. And not just Almira, there were a couple of others as well, who are sadly no longer with us. But Divine Healing Level 1 dropped in. And so they spent months creating Divine Healing Level 1. And then they thought they were done. And then Divine Healing Level 2 dropped in. Divine Healing Level 2 is a little bit more about the body. So we work on hormones and glands, energetically infusing them, electromagnetic effects, a massive chart on our teeth, because our teeth are linked to all the different meridians in the body, just like the spine. And one of my favorite charts is vertebral clearing and balancing, because the spine holds all these programs, because again, it's a map of the body, just like the feet. Recovery from surgery, we do a massive trauma release chart in this, which is extremely powerful. clearing trauma out. And then we did level 3. Level 3 dropped in. And level 3 is all about self-love. This is a very deep one, deepening into self-love. So we work on the way that we're born and how it affects our life, programming, womb trauma, beliefs that get encoded when we're in our mother's womb, and everything's coming through from our parents, judgments of self, letting go of attachments. I work on this nearly every session with clients because we are all so attached to things. Lots of deep, deep clearing on the quantum level, soul level programming. So we have a lot of programming on the soul level. So it's easy for us to connect with stuff in this lifetime, emotionally. But when we go into the soul, it's very, very deep. So this is why it's level 3. We have to have worked through enough of the emotional stuff and the physical stuff before we can get to the deeper soul level. So this is a fabulous one. We have a whole chart on weight, food, and hunger, because, you know, this is a very big thing of why we, how we look after our bodies. So many different programs there. And then one of my favorite charts is actually undoing addictions. I think it's level 2. And we all have a lot of things that we're addicted to. You know, lots of people struggle with addiction on a more serious level, but there's always very, very strong programs underneath as to why they're there. It's not just as simple as, oh, there was trauma in the past. It's much, much deeper than that. So that's a very powerful chart. So, oh, that's my preparation sheet. Where am I going here? So yeah, you can use divine healing on yourself. I love using it on myself. You can use it with clients, and a couple of you guys, 2, 3, I think, or maybe all of you are already therapists. I work online with clients. They just lie down for an hour and a half. You guide them through it, and you'll get an experience of it in a minute anyway. So what I wanted to tune into, let's look at someone's chart. This is what I'm feeling. The course calendar is 4 days. Let's go down to the bottom. So Nicholas teaches this with myself and Amanda Canini Dyer, who's incredibly experienced light body surgeon and divine healing practitioner. And it's the 10th to 13th of September. So it's 4 days. And we start at 12:30 p.m. UK time. And we finish at 8:30 p.m. And we have breaks. We normally do an hour and a half, have a 20-minute break, do an hour and a half, have a 20-minute break. And then we have a later 1-hour meal break as well. And in the training, we practice, we do lots of practice as a group, and then in little breakout rooms on Zoom. So we pop you guys in breakout rooms, and then the assistants, me, Nicholas, Amanda, come around and keep an eye on you guys to check that you're doing okay. And I call this, we call this a 4-day healing intensive, because you're going to work through a lot of your stuff when you're on it. A lot of stuff. I cried, I think, on every level of divine healing many times. It was also new to me. That was why. So yes, it starts on the 10th. I think it's a Thursday to Sunday. So feel free to ask any questions about that. And what I wanted to do, how many levels? So there are 5 levels. I know it's daunting, but you just start with 1, you get your practice in, and then you tune into when you're ready for level 2. Now, Nicholas and I offer divine healing level 1 and level 2. And if you want to go into the big guns of level 3, you do that with Almira at the Center for Love and Enlightenment. Same on Zoom. It's the same format. I think her classes start in the morning at 10 a.m. in the UK till 6 p.m. And I don't know when she's running the next level 3, but you do level 1, you get a little bit of practice, get your confidence, you take level 2 when you're ready. I still haven't done level 5. And there's level 4, I just couldn't get the sheet up. Level 4 is very soul level, and that's with Almira. And then level 5 is with Almira. So normally people do 1 and 2 quite quickly, and then they go into level 3, but you have to kind of be ready for it, I would say. So whose chart shall we look at? Because we do a lot. Jean, I'm gonna, is it okay if I look at your soul contract? Beautiful. I love that we're doing, I love mixing it together. I can't tell you, when you know someone's soul contract, I always go through it. If they haven't had a reading with me before divine healing, I always go through it with them, because I can just sort of point out, well, this might be why you're feeling this, and this is why. And it gives them a lot of understanding, a lot of, oh, that's why that happened. And that can ease a lot of judgment that we hold that it's our fault. So you've got a short chart. Actually, let's look at it like this, because that's a bit confusing. So for all my short name friends, you just have 3 numbers. So Jean, oh, my pen flipping around. So Jean, what was your biggest challenge? You said you've got a lot to offer. What's the challenge? I'm just going to ask you to unmute. Yeah.
Well, I guess the challenge, I retired or stopped what I was doing before, and now I'm doing something else. I was a brain researcher and trainer on things like that. So now it's just moving into a more simpler way of doing things. And I used to do movement diagnostic and stuff like that. And now I want to do a simpler way. I don't know if this is not simple, but it's not really simple, but I'm just ready for something else.
Yeah, you know what I love? I've got this 12-3 as well. So 12-3s are like a galloping horse. They want to do everything. And I don't know if you...
True.
Very expansive.
I'm always learning, right? Always learning. So
oh yeah, 12-3s are bookworms. They love to do trainings, they love to read, they love to learn. Now the challenge of your 12-3, Jean, and I'll be honest because I've got the same one, the challenge of us with our 12-3s is knowing that we are enough as we are and we don't need to do anything else. And there's nothing else you need to do to prove your value or worth. You have enough, you are enough. This is the big challenge of the 3s. So the 12 is like the galloping horse. I want to learn more. I want to expand. I have so much love to give. I want to share it with the world. I want to absorb information, put it out into the world. And the 3 is the rider on its back, whispering in its ear, go faster, go faster. You're not doing enough. You need to do more. And
makes sense.
yeah, you're here to know that you are enough, and you're here to come out of hiding with all of your knowledge. It's a symbol of the 3. It's a master number. So 3s are very, very strong. You're here to come out of hiding and bring yourself and all that you have within you, which is a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom, and bring it out and yourself out of hiding and share yourself with the world. This is your challenge, and it's your soul's goal. And you're here to feel good enough to do that. And get clear on anything that you've numbed out, because 3s can really numb themselves out to what's sitting under the surface. What is the stuff under the surface that hasn't been felt, that is ready to be felt? How can you do it in the most balanced way? Because 12s are all about balanced expansion. So you're not running yourself into the ground. So you're not burning out. Because is that desire for simplicity because you want it to be calm and smooth? Yep, that's the 12 journey, and obstacles will keep dropping in for the 12-3s to keep them slowed down.
Yes.
That's our eternal challenge, Jean. I've got 2 of them, so.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you're absolutely here to share your wisdom. 3 is a teaching energy. So is 5. 5s and 3s are teachers.
Okay.
Teachers of higher levels of truth, the 5s. Because 5s are very intuitively connected. The other challenge that you might have is 5s are here to get very, very grounded. So 5s can have loads of beautiful ideas dropping down into their imagination. I could do this, I could do it that way, I could do it that way. But your challenge is to make it tangible and make it a reality for yourself. And I don't know if you ever think, oh my God, there's so many different things I could do. And how do I make it just work? Like one thing just work well. That's the 5.
Makes sense.
Very intuitive 5 vibes. Very, very connected, very pioneering, very inventive, big imaginations.
That
So
does describe me. It's true. It is describing me. So
yeah.
I have ideas all the time. Yeah. And I'm very intuitive. So it makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're really here to come out of the door more, step out more. Your soul is like, well, this is the lifetime, and it's concentrated. You know, you've only got 4 different energies in your chart. Sorry, 3. You've only got 12s, 3s, and 5s. That's all you've got. Other people might have, you know, way more numbers than that. That's all you've got. That's all the soul wants to focus on. So it's all about getting grounded with your 5s, slowing down with your 12 3s, and building and clearing any parts of you that doesn't believe that you are you know, good enough to do what you do, if there's stuff hidden at the core of that.
Makes sense.
So, yeah.
Thank you. Makes sense.
My pleasure. I haven't seen a short chart in a while, so that was that was fun for me.
When I saw it, I thought, whoa, wait a minute.
That's unfair. I was robbed. Where's my other numbers?
Okay, but it does make sense. So thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Okay, Belinda, can I have a look at your chart? Because you mentioned, you know, that was that fear of coming out and speaking. Is that
You
it?
may, definitely.
Yeah. You know what else I'm going to do? I'm just going to also look at your commonly used name. So in the soul contract work, our soul contract on our birth name contains the predominant energies, but I always find that the name that we're called as a child also carries quite a lot of energy. So I want to look at that.
Well, I was my mother got married, and at about 4.5 years old, well, 4 years old, 4.5, he adopted us, my sister and I. How does that change
Yeah.
the
So what happens is, so your birth name is the cake of your life with your candles, and then each other name's like a layer of icing. This is what we teach you in Soul Contract Level 2, how to read multiple charts. So they're like layers of icing that infuse their energies in. And normally, say sorry, that was just water. Say for a woman, you have your birth name, then you might have your common name, then you may have a married name. And so with each name, the soul is moving in this direction. And say you have a business name, that business name is an extension of your soul journey as well. So it's all layered and it's all growing, it's all building. Business names work a little bit differently. But like Melissa said, house names, business names, titles, words, they all have energy. But yeah, but just talking about names, this is it. So were you known as Belinda Weinman as a child, or you were adopted?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there might be another name in there as well. So you can see in both names, there's a double 7 of spiritual karma. So it is safe for me to be who I am, and it is safe for me to step out into the world. So the 3s are about feeling worthy to be seen and to bring our knowledge out. But the 7s are, I am safe. I am safe to be in this world. I'm safe to reveal my true self. I am safe to be vulnerable. And often the reason we don't feel safe, as I said, is that past life persecution, especially in this line of work. But normally we have a heart wound. This is the 7 energy. Again, it's a master number. It contains a lot of energy, this number. we may experience something like emotional abandonment as a child, not feeling the love from one of our parents. It could be any manner of things, and that breaks our hearts as children. And so we learn that it's not safe to be open and loving and vulnerable. And so we hide that part of ourselves away, and we only show it to people that we feel really safe to. And as a result, you know, the soul is wanting to heal the heart so you can actually come back into the full embodiment of who you are. And when you do that, you become very powerful and you attract exactly who you need to you for the work that you're here to do. And the work you're here to do is to bring higher consciousness energies out into the world. That's really the 13-4 soul destiny, bringing higher states of consciousness and sharing them with the world with that love of the divine feminine, which is, you know, it's the most beautiful number, the 13-4. And you have a lot of beautiful empathy, holding space for people. I bet you can read people really well. And like Melissa, you've got 11-2s and 8s. It's that holding people. So your soul's given you everything to do it, but it's just overcoming that double karmic 7-7. You're here to feel worthy to receive love and abundance. And this is interesting. So our relationship with the mother, the 13-4.
Yeah,
is it the
very
mother?
challenging one.
Yeah. When it shows up twice and in a soul destiny, I would say, yeah, mother, it's a mother thing. And our mother or our father, again, is just a direct reflection of the divine mother and the divine father. And so our relationship with our parents is reflected in our relationship with the divine. And so often when we have our hearts broken, it also breaks our trust. And the 4s are all about trust and opening back up to the trust of I am safe, I am supported, I'm loved unconditionally. And that is the challenge of the soul, to remember that. And, you know, what I really love is, you know, this is big focused energy. And I don't know whether you can get very focused and very scattered, or whether you can swing between them.
Well, yes, I can, on both accounts. I love learning as well. And I got so many different interests. So sometimes I have to go concentrate one thing at a time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, you're here very much to get very focused and very grounded in what you're here to do. And it's a very creative energy flowing through you. And often with the 6s, the only thing that stops us is the flow of energy of the 6. The only thing that stops us and blocks us is this frustration and this anger. I can't do it. And it's like the mind getting in the way. And sometimes the mind can just be really, really strong, especially when we've gone through a lot and we're trying to keep ourselves safe and we're trying to keep ourselves protected. And, you know, the 11-2 is that sort of trauma coming through and processing it, not just for yourself, but for your family as well. There's all sorts going on in here, but those 6s are so flowing and so creative. But sometimes it's just working through a little bit of anger that may be under the surface that has not yet been channeled through. I don't know if that resonates.
It does. I have difficulty in getting deeply in touch with my anger because my mother is an angry woman. And I have done everything in my power to be nothing like her. So she will go from 0 to 100 in a split second with her anger. And I saw that as scary as a child. And so I didn't want to have any part of that. I didn't want to be like that either. So for me, anger is a bad thing. Therefore, I have suppressed my anger a lot, which I think has showed up in physical health issues.
Yeah.
So
Thank you for sharing that. And you know what, I think that's a really, really common thing. We don't want to be like the people that disempowered us. We don't want to be like the people that made us scared as children. And one of the charts in divine healing that I find is really powerful for this is what we call key psychological conflicts. So a key psychological conflict is when there are two opposing beliefs. I'm allowed to be angry. I am not allowed to be angry. It's safe for me to express my emotions. It's not safe for me to express my emotions. I deserve to be loved. I don't deserve to be loved. There's a huge list of them. And essentially this chart is very deep. It takes the whole session to work through it. But a conflict gets established in our psyche when we have those two opposing beliefs, and they work and they pull against each other. Because when we have a desire, I want to be loved, we're moving towards that. But when we have a fear, it's not safe, or I don't deserve to be loved, it's pulling us back. And so the motion is the same. And so we just don't move anywhere. And so it's always quite important to get to that key psychological conflict. And you know what? The number that I would connect with key psychological conflicts is the 22. This is healing whatever conflict is going on under the surface. I cannot be angry. That's what I pick up on, you know. It's not safe. I shouldn't. I'm not allowed. I can't. It's wrong. So,
yeah, I was never allowed to express my anger
no,
either, you know.
no.
What do you have to be angry about, you know? Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing, Belinda. You know, there's always so much under the surface in someone's life. And the soul contract, you know, can see some of it, but we can never be in someone else's shoes to know exactly how things felt. So yeah, thank you, because you know,
Thank you so much. It's very insightful. Thank you.
it's my work. It's my job. It's my joy. So my pleasure, honestly. And Haley, we have not forgotten you. Okay, Haley, hiding.
I'm here.
But you showed up here with your camera on. You know, sometimes people have a real, you know, they don't want to turn up to the webinar. So it's amazing. That's cool.
Yeah.
We love to see that. Okay, actually, let's look at it like this. Okay, there's your 7.
Wow.
There's your 7. Oh, look, we've got some more 9s of disempower. I've got my 9s there as well. Welcome to the 9 in Spiritual
Oh.
Goals Club. Okay, so a big thing is those physical goals of 5. So 5s and 9s, we say, are the most powerful numbers in the soul contract system at opposite ends. So 5s have a great spiritual intuitive power, much more powerful than we think we are, which is why we often get challenged by people who abuse our power, especially in relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're very much here to learn how to assert ourselves and speak up for ourselves and feel safe to tell the truth, even though we have someone who is, and that someone is the universe playing that role, of course,
Yeah.
trying to keep us silenced.
Yeah.
It's a really big one. And the 9s on the other side of the spectrum, I've got 5s and 9s too. The 9s are this raw soul power. So ultimately, I always find there's a culmination in a soul contract. It moves generally in this direction, although all the energies play all the time. But the culmination is that spiritual goal, which is knowing full power. And my belief of that is knowing your ability to do anything. Knowing in your ability. So the soul is working through, well, I know what the truth is, and I'm going to learn how to stand up for myself. And then my goal is, on the more spiritual level, to know my power and to take it with responsibility because nines have a fear and resistance of power.
Yeah. Yes, that resonates.
Yeah. And you know what? This is a really interesting thing, and maybe a couple of you guys can resonate with this as well. Sometimes nines know that they can easily abuse their power. And it's almost like this, if I could, I could, you know, it's a very strange thing to describe. It's almost like this knowing that they have it in them, but this having witnessed, like Belinda shared, witness someone abusing that power and thinking, I never want to be like that, so I will go in completely the opposite direction. So
Yeah.
running through healthy power and out away from unhealthy power, but to the far extreme where they don't want to share it or give it or express it at all.
Yeah. So true.
And you've got lots of sixes as well. Do you feel a little bit stuck sometimes? Because that is the sticky energy of today.
All the time. I mean, I'm Taurian, so I
Yeah.
have a propensity to, yeah, I can really get comfortable in my, comfort zone. So I have to work on keeping my wheels turning. So there's a side of me that can be quite lazy, just a little bit, more laid back, mañana, tomorrow, no urgency. But that's my Achilles heel. But then when I'm really in a good space and I'm working, moving, just keeping the wheels turning, things are really good for me. So I kind of
Yes.
oscillate between,
You
these
can
two
be very
spaces.
focused and get it done.
Yeah, but I procrastinate a lot. And because I've had a lot of fear and doubt in my own abilities.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a strong inferior complex. But then, like you said, the not the kind of the paradox, but the flip side of that is kind of knowing that you do know and that you've got this power and you know the answers, but you're just too scared to show that, to share that. So it's been a bit of a back and forth with me. Yeah.
No, that makes complete sense. And looking at your chart, your 11 twos are here to learn that you can do it yourself. So often, you know what we attract into the business, it's really interesting, a lot of 11 twos and fives, because they're here to see the truth and learn the truth. And 11 twos and fives are all about the truth. But 11 twos in particular are here to learn how to depend on themselves. They're here to learn that they can do it themselves, because they might have this inner belief of I can't do it, I can't do it. This is sort of that emotional resiliency can feel quite low and quite a struggle. But what I find is very often with fives and nines, we're here to clear out a lot of that trauma of disempowerment, which can unfreeze us and unblock us and unstick us in quite a big way. And, the fives and sevens are, I would say, the fear numbers to some degree, because they both are about the feet. One is the left foot, one is the right foot, the body organ. And so the feet are about stepping forwards and stepping into life. And the fives are very floaty and dreamy and ethereal. So, Jean, I'm talking to you as well here. And they will feel reluctant to step forward and make things manifest. They will want to keep it in the mind. They're very heady. And the sevens will have a fear of, well, what if I step forward? And so they won't want to step forward either because of that fear. So those are if you think of your fives and sevens, it's your feet. And then the sixes will be like, I need to do it myself. I will isolate. I will try and do it all by myself. And sixes get into this little knot where they're like, I must do it. I must try and do it. And then they get more and more in their mind. And that's where the fear is. Procrastination is that fear. Exactly.
Wow.
But
Yes.
you're here to tap into your creative, intuitive, focused, soul-focused power, through and through. You're here to provide a lot of structure for people. As you step back into your power, you're here to help other people. You're here to translate more spiritual concepts, so 16-7,
Wow.
into a more tangible, grounded reality for people. And there's more to share, but yeah, but 16 is
Wow.
a fab number.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Yeah.
Just to give
Wow.
you some encouragement, you've got it all there.
Yes. Now
And
is the time.
now is the time. And sixes and nines are the kidneys. They're the channels, they're the intuitive channels that are coming through. But sometimes, like the kidneys hold fear. So that's the body organ that holds our fear, along with our bladders. But
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. It's always lovely. I always have a small group, and I love a small group because it means we can go into charts. And I always think everyone learns more about themselves through that. But what we're going to do now, because I barely got through my presentation, but at this point, it doesn't matter because we always follow the flow of spirit. And this is divine healing in a nutshell. The last thing I'm going to show you before we do some divine healing. So normally in life, we are following the ego because it's all we know. We listen to the mind, and this is suffering, struggle, lack, limitation, resistance, all the good stuff. And then as we work through those unconscious hidden layers with divine healing, whether we work with a practitioner, whether we take the training, whether we do it on ourselves, whatever it is, we begin to follow what we call the spiritual signature in your soul's path, which is the truer, more graceful, divine path forwards. And this is when things feel clearer. And it's like a plane. Planes have an alignment system where when they go off course, they realign. When they go off course, they realign. And this is what divine healing does. When you're feeling a bit funky, you get out your manual. I work on myself a lot. And you lean back, you let whatever's ready to clear drop in. You go to the chart. Okay, it's that one. It's a fear of being seen. And you work on it. And it's not always as simple as, things take time. You have to work on things in layers. But eventually you start to follow the spiritual signature. It's not always smooth sailing. You have the ups and downs of life, as we all do. But you begin to have a softer relationship with life because it's just clearer. It's just clearer who you are. It's clearer what life you're living. It's clearer the truth. That little voice of your soul becomes a lot louder versus the voice of the ego mind. And eventually the balance readdresses. And so you know what's true from your soul and you know what's not true from your ego mind. Because your ego mind, remember, is always speaking from conditioning, programming, past, what our parents once said to us, what society tells us subliminally through everything we watch and read and see. And the ego mind is to limit our consciousness on we here on earth, to expand our consciousness, then return home to source, and then come back again if we choose to, or we go to a different place, a different timeline, a different dimension. Oh, there's very many places. So what I think we'll do is we're going to do some divine healing. And of course, I've spoken too much. I knew this would happen, but we're going to do a good 20 minutes, okay? And then I've given you the dates of the training, so we'll just do a little check-in at the end. So are you guys happy to do a little divine healing session? Okay, good. So all you're going to do, and I'm going to stop sharing. Actually, no, I'm going to leave this up. If people want to watch, but not you guys. I want you guys to be in the feeling of it. I want you guys to experience this. So just get lovely and comfy. And you're going to shut your eyes. And you're just going to lean back. Lean back as far as you can. If you're in a chair, just make sure you're really off the vertical. So really leaning back. And just allow yourself to take some nice deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. When we breathe out our mouth, we just land in our bodies a little bit. And if you've got your feet on the floor, just feel how nice and grounded and rooted down they are. And if they're on a bed or a sofa, you can still feel that core tethering you down. So just breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. I want you to imagine a little wave of relaxation, starting from your crown chakra, the top of your head. It could be whatever color you fancy. Mine is golden blue. And just imagine it soothing and softening all the way down your face, relaxing your brow, your eyes, your jaw, your mouth, coming down the sides of your head, back of your head, flowing down your neck, down your shoulders, helping you just drop and loosen and relax. Flowing down your arms into your fingers, coming down your back, down the front of your body, into your sitting bones, down your legs, and all the way to your toes. And just feel the weight and heaviness of your body. And in divine healing, we do something called an opening prayer, and it connects us, the divine, the healing teams, your body's consciousness. But I already did this before the session to save time. So we're already connected, we're already plugged in. And all I'm going to do is tune into what we're going to work on. And I already got it. We're going to work on a hidden subconscious ego agenda, which is my favorite chart. And this is little hidden ego agendas operating under the surface of our consciousness. And because we're a small group, I'm going to tune into one for each of you, and we're just going to work on this. Because sometimes keeping things simple is powerful. So I'm going to work on you, Belinda, first, because it came up first. So Belinda, there's maybe a hidden ego agenda. So just something operating under the surface around hiding the truth. A little agenda, a little energy of hiding the truth. I just want you to allow yourself to just sit with that and just feel how it resonates. You can just give me a little wave of your hand. So just allow yourself to connect with that as and when you can. Your ego agenda, yes, beautiful. So I just want you to sit with that and let yourself feel it and open yourself up to it. I'm going to find the others. And then we're all going to tune into it a little bit more deeply. Melissa, there's an ego agenda of defending a belief. Defending a belief. Something in your ego which is wanting to defend a belief. It could be a belief about yourself, a belief about the world, a belief about other people. Just allow yourself to connect with that. And just give me a little wave if it resonates. Defending a belief. And just take your time, just drop out of the mind and come into the body, because the body has all the answers. Defending a belief. And you don't need to necessarily know what that is, but maybe where you're feeling a little defensive in your life. This is a nice stubborn ego energy, defense. Just allow yourself to connect with that, and then I'm going to check in with you in a minute, Melissa. I'm going to tune into Haley. I sometimes do this. Sometimes there's group energies, and sometimes there's just not. Okay, let's go. Haley. Oh, we've got some really juicy ones here. There may be a little ego agenda of maintaining a prejudice. I'm going to give a good example of prejudice. An attitude directed at an individual or a group or an experience. A prejudice is almost like the brain's way of stereotyping something, a generalized belief. We always have to Google things and define healing. So just allow yourself to connect with that. What is there a part of you that is trying to keep a prejudice, trying to keep a belief alive that may not be true? Just allow, yep, Allow yourself to just connect with it. And Jean, last but not least. Oh, Jean. Oh, we've got juicy ones for all of you. Jean, there's an ego agenda around keeping blinkered. Keeping blinkered. Maybe not seeing something. I always think of blinkered as not quite seeing a situation clearly. Not quite seeing the whole truth. Allow yourself to connect with that because you might resonate with it in a certain way. There's no right or wrong way to connect in divine healing. There's no right answers. It's just feeling whatever comes up. So Jean, does that resonate? Just a little wave of hand of keeping blinkered. I can get a very good description of blinkered actually. My healing team have thrown me in the deep end with all of you having a different thing. Having a limited or restricted, single-minded view of something, Jean. Where is that happening in your life? Allow yourself to connect with that. Where is the mind having a very single-minded attitude to something? And just let me know with a wave of your hand if that resonates, if something's coming up. Yeah, beautiful. Melissa, how are you doing with your defending a belief? Does that resonate? Something coming up? Just give me a little wave if there's something coming through. Or just shake your head if there's not. Maybe you're already deep in process. Just allow yourselves, and I'll tell you, Belinda. Belinda, yours was hiding a truth. So I'm going to remind you guys of all of yours. So Belinda, hiding a truth, just allow yourself to connect with that. What is the truth that you're hiding? Hiding from, maybe hiding from yourself. Melissa, what is a belief that the ego is holding on to and defending? A belief about yourself, a belief about the world. Maybe where is that prejudice showing up in your life? Holding on to a prejudice, a way of seeing things. And Jean, where are you being a little blink? Where is the ego blinkering your view? And you're just going to feel it. And allow yourself to just drop into your body and notice, how is this belief, this ego agenda impacting your life? And allow yourself to lean back, Melissa. Come lean yourself back if you can. Really allow yourself to feel. How is it impacting you? How is it affecting you? And do you hold any judgment on yourself for having it? So the more you feel it, the more you can clear it. And in a normal divine healing session with the client, I would be speaking to you all and we'd be exploring it more deeply together, but I'm keeping you in your own process because we're in a group. Just allow yourself to drop even deeper into this. Maybe there's an emotion there that's wanting to surface. What is that emotion? Can you feel it? Can you connect to it? Can you allow it to come through and be felt? And just take your time and go very softly. Maybe this program It's taking up some space in your body. Maybe you feel it somewhere in your fields, in an organ, in a part of your body. Maybe it has a color or a shape. There's no right or wrong with divine healing. Maybe it's a vision. Maybe it's a memory coming through. Once you feel like you've felt the fullness of this program, Melissa defending a belief, Belinda hiding a truth, Haley maintaining a prejudice, and Jean staying blinkered in some way, I want you to ask yourselves, what would it feel like not to have this in your life? Notice how you respond. What would it feel like not to have this in your life? What is opening up and expanding within you as you think about what would happen if you didn't have this program running in your life? Notice how that feels. How does that energy feel? Where do you feel it in your body? And what does it bring up for you? What is the emotion that comes through? Or the feeling? And as you stay in that energy of what it could feel like not to have it running, I'm going to create a restructure, which is almost like something that we say, it's a new belief that we're going to encode in once we release this in a moment. And so because we've all got a slightly different ego agenda, I'm going to keep it quite general. And let me just tune into this. Something around being free. I actually just get it's free. I'm free to be me. And it's going to mean something a little bit different for each of you. But that's what came through. So I always ask, are you ready to let this go? And you can just give me a little wave of your hand. Keep your eyes shut. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. So you're all on mute, so you can say this out loud and no one needs to hear, but we want to speak it out loud. You're going to repeat after me, okay? And I'm going to start with I, Antonia, but you're actually going to say your own name, okay? And I want you to say these words with that real feeling and meaning and intention, because the more intention we have behind the words that we say, the more power and presence they have as they ripple out into the matrix of our reality. Okay. So, lovely deep breath. I, Antonia, your name. You're going to say this out loud. Now acknowledge that this ego pattern no longer serves me. Center into your heart's higher self. I command all parts of my being to release this program. including all backup programs, all copies and interference, and attachments in all levels and dimensions, universes and realities, and timeframes. I ask for grace and my higher self to integrate these parts of my ego so that every part of my being now fully accepts I am free to be me. Just let that integrate and move through you. Just notice how that feels in your body. And the last bit I like you to say is, you're going to repeat after me. I commit to 100% willingness to release and change this program now. And again, let that shift, let that move. And I want you to just stay in this state, and I'm going to do a little integration. I'm going to do some colors. Colors have a beautiful frequency, and so I'm going to pick the color that you need. And I'm getting 8, which is turquoise. So the energy and the color of turquoise releases communication difficulties and laziness, and opens up the singing, the throat, the communication pathway, and artistic talents. And it's linked to stimulating the truth that comes from the heart, helping you to communicate what you truly feel. So very much about the throat, the thyroid, and the thyroid is where we express our anger. The throat is where we swallow words that we actually want to say. It's a very powerful color. So I'm going to infuse turquoise in. Just allow yourselves to feel it. Healing team, I command full access to the radiant light of all that is for the perfect color vibrations and frequencies to be downloaded holographically. Healing team, I command the color turquoise to be sent for as many sequences as required, covering all spectrums and vibrations, luminescent, opalescent, pearlescent, fluorescent, to permanently release, cleanse, clear, and all the vibrational energy so that high vibrational energy can be accessed and coded. And please energetically infuse the appropriate sound frequency. Healing team, we ask that this healing is transmitted to this group's ancestral and genetic lineage, to any progeny or future progeny, if it is for the highest will and good. And we ask that this healing be maintained for as long as it is required. Thank you. And just allow yourselves to feel that shift. Higher self, please correct all dehydration in all bodies multidimensionally and for as long as needed. Thank I'm just doing a little bit of extra clearing. This extra clearing is called integration. So when we do a more deep emotional clearing, we always have to do lighter clearings, just a balance. And you're going to repeat this final command with me. You're going to repeat after me, okay? Higher self, please help me to know myself as a multidimensional being of light, 100% through all levels and layers, dimensions and time frames, and keep the soul clear, aligned and grounded. Thank you. And just start to take a few deep breaths. Have a little wiggle of toes and fingers. And just gently start to come back. Welcome, welcome. As I always say, it's a very short experience of divine healing. Usually sessions are an hour and a half to 2 hours. And what normally happens in a group in a one-on-one session or with a client is you'll do a big emotional clearing, and then you'll do some integration like colors of chakras or nutrition, and then you'll do another deep clearing, and then you do a little bit more. We teach you how to structure sessions anyway in the training. I'd love to hear how you guys are doing. If anyone just wants to share just how they're feeling, if that felt like it touched on something. I know it's a very short experience. Just want to tune in how you're doing. Yes, Belinda.
Isn't that very interesting? Because about 7 weeks ago, I had a pacemaker fitted. And as you came up with what I needed to concentrate on and what resonated, the area over my pacemaker, I've been sitting here with my hand on over that area the whole time, got so heavy and tight and felt pain. And it extended down into the small part of my left hand, and I couldn't move my arm. It was just weird. It was like, you're not allowed to move your arm. It's just too much for you right now. Just stay put. So it's it's still heavy, it's still sore, but not as intense as it was going through the process. So that was quite a quite something.
Oh
So
gosh, yeah. You know what? It might just take just a little bit more time just to settle down. That usually happens. You know, we can feel things very viscerally, very somatically in this work, even though we're working on the emotional body a lot of the time and the physical body. But yeah, so just be very gentle with yourself. Maybe drink some water after this. It obviously touched on something. So yeah, thank you for sharing, Belinda.
thank you.
How are you doing, Jean?
It was very amazing. Thank you. I did feel shifts. I just feel lighter now. And the whole thing about seeing things clearer is really resonates with me. Like, um, it's wonderful. Thank you.
Good. And you know what? I'm so happy hearing that, because normally in a session, you're speaking, say I'm the client, I'm actually getting to share what's on my chest. And obviously in a group setting, I don't give you guys that opportunity because I don't want to pull you out of your own process. But it's also powerful when you don't share, because often it's the ego wanting to speak a lot. You know, in a session, like I asked you guys, you know, feel the context. What's the story? How's it resonating in a one-on-one session? The client will be sharing with you, the practitioner. Oh, this is coming up, and I think it's to do with this. And actually, sometimes in a group setting, when the ego doesn't have that chance, it's almost more powerful because you can just be in it. But yeah, there's much in a one-on-one session. You know, it's a dialogue. You're asking the client to share what's coming up. And then you're being very present with them. You're letting them feel it. They won't be chatting all the time. They'll be very altered as well. But yeah, I just wanted to give a bit of context of how it's different in a session. But thank you for sharing, Jean.
Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. How are you doing, Melissa and Haley? You guys okay?
Yeah, I feel wonderful.
Oh, yes. Hey, sorry, Haley, what were you saying? Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't want to talk over. Yeah, I feel fantastic. Thank you so much. I feel lighter. And I had a very clear visual of just letting go of shackles, you know, these shackles that have been keeping me stuck.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Get them out of there.
Yeah, exactly.
Be gone.
Gone. Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Just a little taster, but you know, I always believe the perfect people come to these webinars when they can, and serves them, you know, in this moment. So I'm pleased. Yeah. Melissa, how are you doing?
Yeah, that was really beautiful. I'm very connected. I had a little hearing issues in the beginning. It was so soft, but I allowed myself that consciousness would take over. And as I leaned a little closer, because I was very curious of what you were saying, yeah, I think through it, I had a vision. And I think I kind of got the root of the problem. And being I have that 10-1 energy, my dad got really sick in his 30s, got like 6 autoimmune diseases like all at once. And my mom had to step up. And my dad was like the stay-at-home dad. And he would always say, no, no, no. And I think, you know, I know that was part of my disempowerment. And for me now to say yes to everybody, right? And I think with my mother-in-law coming into me, it was like this little 8 millimeter vision I get, because I could do a lot of evidential stuff too. So it came to me. And when you were clearing it, I got my frisson. I'm getting it even now. Like my body's just vibrating in that where you feel it like goosebumps. And it starts from the soul outward. And so I allowed, you know, to be really open to replace that void that you took out and clear it and bring in. So yeah, that was really powerful. It was, I don't know. I just, you know, sometimes I always think it's divine timing where we have to be. And no, you know, I think, you know, having you lead this, it just brought me into a different state of mind, I think, where I need to go with this. So I couldn't wait. I'm at the part of me, my ego was like, when are the dates? When are the dates? I'm like, just chill. And then when I opened my eyes, it's on the screen.
Oh,
Thank you.
divine timing. When we let go, everything appears before us, doesn't it? The
Yeah.
irony. Yeah, sorry, I do speak so softly because I go into this like weird little soft, you know, I don't know why. But also I was getting you guys to feel it in different ways, because some clients are very visual, some feel it, and it's okay if you don't feel it. You know, I always say this to clients. Some people might just get like a flash of a vision, and that's how it comes through for them. Some people feel it as a color, the energy moving, and it's just so different for each person. That's why I said it's no right and wrong way to feel. So yeah, you let go, Melissa, and you got the vision and it worked in that way for you, which is perfect.
Yeah. And as soon as before you said color, I had that Reiki purple color come in. And then when you said turquoise right away, it went to my throat. That yes and no, right?
Yeah.
I was like, how appropriate is this? It's so, the synchronicities are just too strong. So I
Oh
need to sign up.
yeah. And when you do sessions as well, you're just like, wow. Sometimes because you're letting go, you're not in control of the session when you're doing divine healing. You are allowing your higher self to work through you. And so we're just the instrument, and the higher self is working through us. So we're very much hands off in divine healing. You know, I have my manual and I'm leaning back, letting the numbers drop in. Okay, we're going to go for this. And everyone thinks, oh, my mind's going to give me the wrong numbers. I'm going to get in the way. And it doesn't happen. And the more
Yeah.
you connect with your intuition, which is always a big challenge for me, for example, the more it lands and the more, you know. So yes, I'm pleased
Beautiful.
it resonated and connected.
Beautiful job.
So you guys know when the training is. I think I don't really, you know, it's my last slide. It's certified, so we give you a certificate. You know, you can. I find it's a very powerful thing to work on yourself as well as working on your clients. And it's just those shifts in consciousness. I don't really need to explain this. I think we've talked about it enough. But I do like more love and joy in your life as the ego lets go and the fear lets go and starts to dissolve. And those thick, hard, crusty layers that we think keep us safe, as they start to dissolve, the more comes through. So there we go. We've reached the end. I'm sorry I took you guys over time. It does, as I said, I'm a chatterbox, so that does happen.
Perfect. Thank you. Much appreciated.
My pleasure, Belinda. And you must email me so I know where you are.
Actually, I have a question which is probably a little bit too much information, and I don't want to traumatize the group. So if you don't mind,
Do you want to stay on at the end and I'll stop recording and then you can ask me? Yeah. That's not a problem. Yeah. Does anyone else have any questions before I release you back into life? No. Well, you can always reach out. You know, you've got my email. You can just press contact and the emails will come through to me on the website if you've got any questions. If I see you in September on the training, beautiful, I'll be there. If not, then another time. Melissa.
Sorry, one question. Is it only online or can you attend
Yes,
live?
it's
Only
all
online.
online. Yep, all online. So you don't need anything. We send you the Zoom links. We send you the manuals. You normally print out the manuals. I just use a local print company and they do it all for me. That maybe 25, 30 quid, maybe 100 pages. Yeah, and it's all online. Yeah. You just need a laptop and you're all good. Thank you so much, Hayley. It's lovely to meet you. Oh, Melissa, you had a question.
Thank you.
I do, but it's outside of divine healing. It's something I need to send you and Nicholas for Friday, and I don't know how to export it. So if I can hang out for just maybe,
yes,
or you
hang out. Yes, yeah, hang out with me and Belinda. Belinda, I'll sort Melissa out, and Hayley, it was lovely to meet you. I'll let you go and I'll stop recording.
Sure, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Take
Bye
care,
bye.
guys.
Lovely to meet you.
You too. I'll be in touch.
Beautiful.
Bless.
Bye.